friends, it's ABB. Today I want to open up about my cousin Ramon Carver. Ramon Carver was a great man, father, cousin, brother, son, just a loving person all around the board. Unfortunately, he was taken from my family. The date was March 10th, 2016. This was my round. If I didn't talk to him over the phone, I was with him in person or the link up. I understood him really, really well. That was my guy. I just want to open up about him. He was very loved while he was alive. We're here with us, and I just want to keep his legacy alive, at least within myself. Everyone else handles their emotions and feelings and death differently. First experience losing someone so close at a young age. He was an Aries. Creative style was amazing together. I'm Taurus, by the way. Kind of go hand in hand, Aries, Taurus. His birthday was April 10th, 1989. He would have been 30 years old this year. Happy belated to my G. Since I've no longer been greeted with the presence of my best friend, I want to tap into that, how that really makes me feel as a person, my actions, where I've been, what I've been doing with my mental. You losing somebody is traumatic, but somehow, some way, throughout the day, we keep on pushing. Actually, when he passed away, we are both from Indianapolis, Indiana. At the time, I was in Tampa, Florida. I boarded my plane at 6 a.m. on March 6th. I was with my cousin the night before I left. That was the last time I actually got to encounter him alive. Fast forward to today, I've actually moved out of Indianapolis, Indiana. I actually moved August of 2017. I've been living in Dallas, Texas for the past 2 years. I spent a year in our actual hometown a year after his passing, and the experience that I experienced is like a blank feeling. I had no soul, I had no mind, I had no desire. I had no interest in pretty much anything. I was just lost. My cousin was a very, very, very helpful and very important part of my life as far as just doing life. You don't really realize how hard life is until you don't have something or someone anymore. You are definitely trained up to learn how to survive and learn how to cope, knowing that that person is in a better place. The year that I was in Indiana without my cousin after his passing, it was just dark. At the time, I was 24, 25 years old. I didn't really understand a lot of life at that time, looking back. It was just a very, very dark time for me. Move out. Me and my cousin, we always talked about leaving Indiana together. When I had left for my Florida trip, I bought a one-way ticket. I didn't have a plan on coming back. And he did the same a few years prior to his passing. He went to California and he wasn't planning on coming back, but situations in life and adulting, he had to move back to Indiana. That was really my dog, man. He really taught me a lot. I could say that he has left me with a very, 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 very strong impact. He's forever with me. I also have a tattoo. I actually want to get some more added to it. Dealing with a death so close and being in the same state and driving up the same streets and going to the same places, food places, the store. This person has been here, it's just it's a feeling I can't really describe. Maybe, somebody can help me out in the comments and let me know if they understand the feeling. I know you can understand it, but give me some words. Give me the word I'm looking for, because I'm looking for that thing. He was a very adventurous young man. He was very fun to be around. If you've ever been around Ramon Carver, you are always in for a good time. It took me some time to get to the point of accepting his crossover. A 60% of not dealing with it, as far as letting it be a negative impact. Sometimes at night I cry myself to sleep. It's discouraging sometimes knowing the creatives, somebody had, or the impact that somebody had on you while they were alive. It's expected of you to just carry on and be strong. And you don't want to rush trying to do too much and you don't even know what you're doing. I'm making this video 3 years and 4 months after the passing of my cousin, and I just want to inspire other people to open up talking to other people, or if you have to move or whatever is suits fit for you in your situation and how you want to handle something. I just really ask that nobody sits in depression. Like, don't do that. Like, I was on the verge of just giving up on everything, because everything seemed to have been leaving me at the time. I was young. I didn't know what was going on for real. Like, I understood death, but it's like death don't come around here. Not right now. Maybe when we like 60, 70 years old. He only lived 26 years, and that alone sticks out to me the most, because I know how talented and creative and how ambitious and confident and strong that Ramon Carver was. And he'll be with me forever. ABB, he called me ABB. He knew what that was about. He knew me. That was me. You feel me? Like, that was me. That was the male version of Ashley, baby. The times that we shared together, I'll never forget them. The things that he taught me, like, in the form of a father figure. Like, we 2 years apart, and I feel like he taught me life. He taught me life. He literally taught me life. We spent a lot of time together, and then I miss him so much. Like, it's very tough to sit in this camera right now to talk about this, but I have to. I have to get it off my chest. I talk about it. I've talked about it amongst my peers before, but I guess it's just a different vibe when you talk at a camera and you can play it back and watch what you're saying and see the feelings and everything that you need to see, you can see for yourself. I'm not saying that talking to people is a bad thing. It's not at all. Like, I encourage people to open up and vent. Like, sometimes you just don't want a response, or you don't want to hear it's going to be okay, or you just don't want to hear certain things at a certain time. And hopefully there's people in your life that are okay with just being an ear to you and not trying to, oh, you'll be all right, or just just kind of kick your feelings under the bus or to the curb, because a lot of times, everybody don't understand what you're going through or what you're dealing with. My advice is to just take self-time and just spend a lot of time with yourself and try to understand self and how you work and how you operate. I was blessed with an opportunity to be able to leave the state of Indiana. I always knew that I was going to move, but I really didn't know, especially after Ramon passing, I really did not know who I was moving with, when, anything of the sort. When I was in Florida and he passed, I just eventually figured he was going to come down, because, that's just how he was. I was going to be down there already. He had children, so, it was a little different for, our lifestyles was different. I don't have children. He has children, so he couldn't just leave at that time. I know I'm all over the place with this video. Right before our trip to Orlando, I can't even tell you the time, but I know it was in the daytime. I want to say it was around 2 or 3. All I know is I drove that thing. I drove it moments before I got in the car to drive. I thought of my cousin. His face appeared in my head on March 10th around 3 p.m. Indiana and Florida are on the same time, I believe. But when I thought to give him a call, when his face popped up in my head, when I thought to give him a call, I pushed it off. I'm like, okay, I'll call him a little later on, because I was about to hop on the road and I was using my GPS. I didn't. It completely went over my head. Like, I'll talk to him later. I didn't think nothing of it. I really need to figure out if Florida and Indiana is on the right time, same time. Mind you, I'm down here at this great woman's house that I was going to just stay. I bought me a one-way ticket. I didn't have any intentions on coming back home. I just didn't, I knew I was ready for change. On my way back, I got a call from my dad. I brushed the call off because I'm like, okay, I'm listening to music, I'm driving, I'll call him back. I recalled texting my ex at the time. She ended up giving me a phone call. I answered. She was like, have you talked to any of your family members? And I'm like, my pops just called me, but I didn't pick up the phone. What's going on? What she said to me over the phone was, they just found your cousin Ramon dead in y'all apartments y'all used to live in. I'm driving, remember, this whole time we on the phone. I pulled the car over immediately. I don't even know if it was traffic. I just know it was dark outside. I just remember pulling the car over, like, I believed her. I knew she wouldn't call me and say nothing like that, but I didn't believe her. Like, I didn't believe her on the sake of, yeah, right. You know, like, I didn't, like I said, I didn't think she was lying to me. Of course she wasn't lying to me, but you just don't expect somebody to call your phone and say something to you like that about somebody that you love, about somebody that you care about, or, you know, somebody that is your person, you know, somebody that actually cares about you. And she told me that he was dead, and we got off the phone. My people I was in the car with, they heard me, you feel me? My homegirl that I actually went to Florida with from that, she met my cousin Ramon before, so she already knew, like, I just felt the energy in the car, you know? So Miss Lady, whose car it was that I was driving, she's like, hey, you know, I'll go ahead and drive and let you, you know, sort your emotions, sort your life out right now. I called my auntie's phone, which is his mom. I love my auntie. Hey, auntie. His mom, I called her and she picked up the phone, but all I heard was crying and screaming, you know, like, Shorty didn't even say nothing to me. She just knew to pick up the phone so I could hear that. And as soon as I heard that, it's like something went inside of me and just shot back out. It literally just shot back out. And I called my granny. She picked up the phone. She had like a crying voice. After I heard my auntie, I already knew what was real. Hearing that and then hearing my granny say, yeah, he gone. I died with him that day. The feelings that I really felt, or I was running, not hiding, but I was running from them. I never learned how to cope with that at that time when that happened, that month of March. I planned on staying in Florida, but with him passing, you know, I ended up having to go ahead and buy me a ticket back home. My cousin passed on March 10th. On March 15th, on Tuesday, I ended up coming back to Indiana. I just remember that moment, getting off the plane. I honestly feel like it was raining the day I came back to Nap, but I could just be being dramatic right now. I remember having on a hoodie, getting picked up from the airport. I knew at that moment my life was gonna be different. I'm not going to say that I accept his death. I'll say I understand. Just knowing what he was dealing with while he was here sets my soul at peace, knowing that he doesn't have to deal with that anymore. It's tough out here being a human. They want your money, or they want something from you, you know? So my cousin was definitely in a place at the time of his death where he needed a break. He needed a change. He needed a new start. That year, I ended up he lived on 30th and Manhofer, where he passed, and I lived on 30th and German Church. And before my trip, I spent every day with him. I went to see him every day. We linked up every day. There was no excuse not to link up every day. Like, we was right down the street from each other, and that was my guy. That was my roommate at one point. We really had a bond that I never thought I would have with anybody. And I love that he was my real blood family, you know, because that makes the bond even more special and even more deeper and even more understood. When you weigh out what benefits you and what benefits somebody else and for the better of them, you kind of got to see it in a different light. You have to, because him being alive just so I can talk to him, that could have been hurting him. He deserved to live his potential. He deserved to live and show the world what he was about. the type of person that I am. You know, it's taken me some time, 3 years, and I'm sitting in front of this camera right now telling you what's going on or what has went on, and I just feel like my cousin ain't dead. You know, I am him, he is within me. And I feel like as long as I'm breathing and as long as I'm alive, I'm gonna do my damnedest to try to be the best me that I can be. I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still coping, I'm still living, I'm still breathing, I'm still trying to figure it out, baby. To think that he didn't even get to see the age 28. I've outlived my cousin at this point. With that being said, I feel like it's my duty to at least give this life a try, to do better, trying to fulfill things that we talked about that suit me. Wow, like, you know, I guess I never thought I'd be talking to this camera like this, but you know, it's actually quite therapeutic. I am in Dallas, Texas now. We always talked about getting out of Indy. We didn't know where we was going, but I'm here in Dallas and I miss you a lot. I wish I could rewind time sometimes, but Lord knows we can't do that. I just hope that you're watching over your people, man. Like, I really do. I really hope that I make you proud. It's nothing wrong with crying. It's nothing wrong with feeling emotional. It's nothing wrong with having a day where you just take time and just dedicate some time, a moment of silence to your people, man. Like, you realize you never will get to see that person again. And I don't know much about the afterlife. I haven't experienced it yet. But my G has. I know it gotta be something better than this shit here on earth. My higher self knows that my boy is out there living in royalty. He's living in royalty, and with that being said, while I'm down here in Dallas, Texas, I'm gonna figure this life out. I'm gonna figure out my purpose. I'm gonna figure out my calling, baby boy. I miss you. I love you, Ramon Carver. Mama G with the dance moves. The G stands for the goddamn rent. Popcorn player. Peace.